Europe is on alert. Military budgets are rising. Troops are moving. Exercises are happening across the continent. But here's the question. Are these signs that a bigger war is coming, or that Europe is preparing to prevent one? In the next 13 minutes, we'll break down what is actually happening using facts, numbers, and real developments so you can separate fear from reality. In the past few years, Europe's security situation has shifted dramatically. The ongoing Russia-Ukraine war has forced nations to rethink defense strategies, alliances, and regional stability. From rising defense budgets to troop deployments, changes are happening fast. But the reality is more complex than headlines suggest. Not every action signals war. Some of it is about deterrence and prevention. In this video, we'll explore how defense spending is changing, NATO's role in Europe today, the tension in Eastern Europe, public perception versus reality, and why economics plays a role in avoiding war. By the end, you'll understand what Europe's military actions really mean.
One of the most visible changes is the rise in military spending. Germany, for example, announced a €100 billion special fund to modernize its military. This includes new fighter jets, tanks, and naval ships. Poland has invested heavily in advanced weapon systems, including anti-aircraft defenses and drones, to strengthen its borders. France, too, has accelerated its modernization plans for the Army, Navy, and Air Force. Even smaller countries like Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania are increasing defense budgets as a percentage of GDP, recognizing regional risks. But here's an important point. Spending more doesn't mean going to war. Historically, higher defense budgets often mean preparation, deterrence, and readiness. Countries invest so potential threats know they are ready, which can actually prevent conflict.
NATO continues to play a central role in Europe's security framework. The alliance operates on the principle of collective defense. An attack on one member is considered an attack on all. Since 2022, NATO has increased troop deployments in Eastern Europe, including Poland, Romania, and the Baltic states. Exercises like Defender Europe and Cold Response involve tens of thousands of troops, advanced weaponry, and coordinated logistics. These moves are designed to deter aggression, not provoke it. NATO's strategy is clear. Visibility, readiness, and strong coordination among allies reduce the likelihood of conflict escalating. Additionally, NATO works with non-member partners, conducts cyber defense training, and monitors energy security, all part of a holistic approach to European defense.
Countries close to the conflict zone, like Poland, Lithuania, Latvia, and Estonia, feel the highest risk. They have strengthened border defenses, increased surveillance of airspace and sea routes, deployed rapid response units. These steps are preventative, not offensive. Ukraine's war has reminded Europe of the fragility of peace in the region. Countries near conflict zones naturally invest in military readiness and civil defense. But despite heightened alertness, there is no confirmed plan or evidence of a wider European war. Actions today are largely about regional stability and reassurance for citizens.
Media headlines often amplify tension. Words like escalation, troop buildup, or threat of war can make it feel like Europe is on the brink. Seeing images of tanks, fighter jets, or soldiers exercising can trigger anxiety. Yet governments operate on long-term strategic planning, not immediate confrontation. Military exercises, spending increases, and deployments are measures to prevent conflict, not signals that war is imminent. In fact, in modern military doctrine, being ready is often the best way to avoid war. War is extremely costly, not only in human lives, but also economically. European countries are deeply interconnected through trade, energy, and finance. A large-scale war would disrupt supply chains, energy supplies, jobs, and the broader global economy. This is why Europe invests in prevention and deterrence. Countries balance military readiness with economic stability. Spending is rising, but it is carefully targeted. Advanced defense systems rather than large-scale invasions. In reality, economic interdependence is one of the strongest tools against war.
So, is Europe preparing for a bigger war? The answer is nuanced. Yes, military budgets are rising. Yes, troops are moving. Yes, exercises are increasing. But all these measures are largely about deterrence, stability, and prevention. Europe is not rushing into war. It is preparing to avoid it. In today's uncertain world, preparation is the new form of peacekeeping. The goal is clear: maintain stability, protect citizens, and prevent conflict before it starts. If you want more fact-based analysis and clear explanations about global events, make sure to subscribe this channel.